continues to flabbergast me that in the year of our Lord 2025, influencers still think that the correct response to getting canceled is issuing an apology video. It never works out that way. People never offer you a path for redemption. They will always continue kicking you while you're down. And this is the latest example. Last week, we discussed this Love Island contestant, Cierra Ortega, who was unceremoniously kicked off of the island because of her resurfaced posts from 2023, in which she used the word chinky to describe the way her eyes look when she smiles. This was a post where she was explaining her Botox treatments, and she used them to open up her eyes and make them look less chinky. This was the term she used that enraged everyone, and she was dragged by thousands, if not millions of people for this stuff. I cannot believe there is still a crowd of people that is this easily offended by a word like that.
2023, right?
I think that was when the original post went up, yes. And she was kicked off of the show. However, they did not actually say explicitly that that was the reason why. They said it was personal reasons. That was not true. She went offline. Her parents took over her social media accounts and told people, we understand why you're mad, but can you please stop sending death threats and responding to hate with hate? I think even that was not putting it strongly enough because, first of all, she didn't speak with hate in the first place. And even if she had, even if she had walked up to an Asian person and started degrading them for their race, that would still not justify the way people are responding to this. And she ended up posting an apology video last week, which we'll show part of. And she clarified that this was all the way back last year in January 2024 that she was initially called out for using this term by a follower of hers privately. And she did take accountability and delete the post at the time. Her follower said to her, hey, it seems like you're unaware that the word chink is an extremely racist and offensive word against Asians. It's unacceptable and incredibly hurtful to be using that word, especially in this context, as if it's a negative thing to have Asian eyes. You have lost a follower. I hope you use this opportunity to grow. And Cierra responded, I'm so embarrassed for being so naive and unaware. It's no excuse as the damage is already done. You have the right to be upset for my careless misuse of the word. I do hope you know I have zero ill intention and I didn't mean to cause any harm. Being a POC myself, I should be a lot more careful with the messages I'm spreading. Thank you for educating me, and I can assure you this word has been removed from my vocabulary, and I'll make an honest effort to make sure no other derogatory words or terms leave my mouth or are shared to my audience. Thank you again, and I'm so, so sorry, making a promise to do better. But that, of course, was not enough.
I feel like
and the apology video was not enough.
I feel like if she got caught in an MLM fleecing people for money, she would not have to give an apology that deep.
So, we have a 20 from Gravel AMDG. Sup, Chigos. Sup. I want to point out first, before we play this apology video, that she is wearing a sweater that literally says the word empathy on it.
Yeah.
The brain rot is insane. I thought people were calling it an empathy sweater as a joke. Like, oh, people wear sweaters when they make apology videos to seem more soft and empathetic. No, it's a sweater that just says the word empathy on it. Did she order that just for this video?
Yeah.
I mean, trying to understand.
In today's day and age, I completely buy that.
You have empathy merch? Yeah. Okay. And then she goes on to say that she will no longer be holding space for words like that in her vocabulary, and she will discourage anyone else from holding space for these slurs.
Play it from 3 minutes?
Yeah, okay, let's play the last part here where she says the response to her wrongdoing has been it has been outsized and she feels it's inappropriate.
I've been waiting for me to.
Okay, I gotta get back to where we were. All right, here we go.
I would have even said it, or why I would have been doubling down and continuing to use it. So I understand where the hate is coming from. And, you know, I can do my best to drown out the noise and pay attention to the truth. But what's been extremely, extremely difficult is the way people are approaching my family and my loved ones. they have had ICE called on them. My family doesn't feel safe in their own home. I'm receiving death threats. Like, there's no need to fight hate with hate. I don't think that that's justice. And if you want to know that you're heard and that I'm sorry and that I will move differently, I promise you that's what will happen.
It's never about that for
I
them.
know that no apology could ever be enough for the harm that I've caused and the offense that's taken place. I know that moving forward, my actions and how I decide to live my life from here on out is gonna speak louder than any apology ever could. But I do need it to be known that I am sorry and I did mean no harm, and hopefully there are people out there that can use my mistake as a learning moment, and to just be better, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take today and tomorrow, and I'm gonna take strides to be better. And all I can ask for is, even if you won't give me forgiveness, if you can just allow me to grow with grace. And hopefully, instead of sitting here and trying to convince you that I am this amazing person who spreads light in the world and celebrates cultures and dynamics and backgrounds, then one day you can see that from me. I'm deeply sorry again, and I thank anyone who's listening.
So, just an innocent question here. If we're to believe that no apology can be enough and no apology can make right for the wrong that has been done, why apologize anyway?
Yeah.
Like, what's the value in the apology then? If it's not enough, then why do it? Why even offer the apology if it's not going to be accepted? And what do you think the response was? Here's one from Pop Crave's tweet. Once a racist, always a racist. She should be punished. And you know what? Cierra Ortega agrees with that sentiment. She's saying, I'm a piece of shit. Please abuse me. I deserve to be abused. I deserve to be punished. I deserve to be dragged. I deserve to be dehumanized and degraded for this. Don't accept my apology. Hate me. Please hate me. Treat me like I'm trash. That's what she's asking for, and she got it. She got what she wanted. And one of the responses said, the empathy sweater, the soft yet stern delivery, the crystal around her neck, calling it an accountability video, saying, holding space for a slur, S-tier apology video, a performance. And that's what it is. It's a performance. And I think even Cierra Ortega thought posturing that she knew this wouldn't be enough was going to pay off. It did not. And now she's realizing that in real time. She has now shared screenshots of the responses to her apology, which predictably so are brutal and violent. She said on her Instagram, hey, so is this still about accountability, or it was never about accountability? You should have known that. She's not that bright, but I would assume we all have pattern recognition skills, and you've seen other people get canceled before. You've seen other people apologize for things before online, right? How did you not see this coming? Here were some of the messages she was sent. I'm going to call ICE on your family again. These are people who believe in abolishing ICE, by the way.
Yeah.
But they're going to call ICE on someone for saying the word chinky. Another one said, next time I see you in LA, with a bunch of gun emojis, I'm gonna you and your family, you stupid bitch. I hope you kick the bucket, you racist duck lips. Another one said, yourself, you ignorant racist bitch. Oh, please just yourself. Finally, another one said, KYS expeditiously, nobody likes you at all. The villa got so much better when you left, and I hope that the Department of Homeland Security snatches your abuela by her throat and takes her to Alligator Alcatraz, you dumb hoe.
My God.
Another one said, I hope you get raped and abused. I will ask God about this every day and pray that you experience it.
Like,
these are real messages.
and remember, it's what we said the last time we talked about this. The thing is that there's nothing that a certain type of human being likes more than the feeling of being morally righteous while treating other people awfully, like in the most awful way you could possibly imagine. Yes. And that's what's going on here, which is that people, a certain type of person, has this innate desire to be mean, to be ruthless, to be awful to other people, and all they're looking for is the right excuse to do so, which is why apologizing in this case for if we're supposed to believe that context matters, then the context of what she said initially, which was so frivolous and stupid, versus the context here, which is violent and awful, they shouldn't even be graded on the same scale. And if words matter, it's almost like you're saying that words don't matter, only slurs matter.
That's
because
true. That's what they believe.
They don't have anything wrong with saying something awful. They only believe that something awful is true if it's said against some type of specific group. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're fair game to be treated terribly by everyone. And again, they love it. They love the feeling of being able to treat other people like this while feeling morally justified. And that's perhaps the most disturbing thing about it.
Yeah. And you know, you could say, oh, this is just like an online controversy about a reality TV actress. This isn't that deep. But no, this says a lot about human psychology. And this, to be truthful, is how, you know, something like the Soviet Union operated. This is why cults exist and operate the way that they do. People can be manipulated and conditioned to behave this way, to want to see someone brutally killed for wrongthink. That's what this is. And I just don't understand from Cierra Ortega's perspective how she ever thought the apology was going to work out for her. Because even just in a self-interested view, the proper response for your bank account is to ignore this, to not say anything and just move on with your life. People will forget. The internet forgets instantly. Unless you remind them of it by apologizing. And I am not against apologizing when you've hurt someone. I, of course, think that that's the right course of action when you have hurt someone like a friend, when you have hurt a family member, when you've hurt someone in an interpersonal way. But you can't actually hurt a group of people, because a group of people doesn't experience things subjectively. Yeah. It's not that complicated of a concept. A group of people cannot feel a certain way collectively. This is a group of individuals, and think about it. Would the vast majority of Asian people be presented with this information and feel hurt by it? No. No, they would not. And even if they did, they would be wrong to feel that way, because they don't know this woman and she didn't personally do anything to offend against them. This tweet was prompted by the controversy. This new generation of influencers doesn't seem to know that apologizing is the worst thing you can possibly do. Apologizing to friends and family is very good and has constructive results. Apologizing to the general public, psychic foregoing of power and identity to an egregore that you must fight forever to get back. In principle, it's always a bad idea.
In the comments, so Jeremy Harbin says maybe she was genuinely sorry, so she apologized and had forgiveness on her heart. Here's the thing, though. Even if that is 110% true, she will never receive that back from a large group of people, because you'll never be able to predict how a large group of people will interpret her apology. And let's face it, most people don't. They say it's not enough. Your words are not enough. Next, it's you have to give money to this cause. After that, it's disappear from society, make merch, and then give the money from your merch to this nonprofit, this charity. There will never be an answer to this type of thing. If there's people in your own life that you have wronged, it is not a shortcoming to apologize and own your actions. But if we're talking about large groups of people, it will do nothing to help her. And I think part of it is just, look, she doesn't exist on the side of the internet that deals with this type of backlash on a regular basis. Right. The side of the internet that we find ourselves on is full of callous. Like, it's actually something I I find distasteful is the amount of callousness and hate that seems to be in the heart of the average person I see on X every day. And it does seem like the world is that way, but it's the world we live in, and you can't really do much to change it other than possibly just trying to bring some positivity from your side of the world. But let's face it, most people laugh in the face of that and find it to be a fool's errand. I don't personally, but I get why the pragmatic person sees things that way. She was always going to lose this battle. She was never going to win, and apologizing was never going to work. The best she can hope for is that, you watch old movies and television and they talk about how people love redemption stories. I don't know if that's even true anymore. I don't know if, at the very least, this is the type of thing where somehow you're not given redemption from it. What you've said gives you less leeway towards redemption than sometimes things that are worse. Like I said, people would probably look at, what's her name, Theranos lady, and give her more redemption than what this lady did.
That's actually true. If you look at the objective metrics, yes. You are more likely to get a redemption arc and a puff piece after committing crimes and scamming people than saying a bad word. And the worst outcome of cancel culture, aside from people getting their lives ruined, people losing their jobs or their relationships being destroyed, it's also that it's hardened people's hearts collectively to the idea that they ought to be civil online because they feel like they have to protest against the, cancel mob mentality by being as inflammatory as possible.
Yeah.
So it's been totally counterproductive against its own stated goals. But as I said last week, the goal of cancel culture has always been suicide. Like, that's what it has always been. Keep going until they kill themselves.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.